awkward moment.
Okay, preparing to
Like
stream.
you were the one who made it, and then she just laughed.
Hey guys.
Hi. How was your weekend, Benjamin?
It was so nice.
Yay.
So
I
nice.
gotta stop eating. They're really
The
good.
weather was beautiful.
We
The
kind of
trails
killed
were
it.
really nice. It was a lot of fun.
I'll be right back. Gotta pee.
Okay, I'm putting the link in the chat.
I just leave them out or like cover them with
Aluminum foil.
yeah.
Yo.
Munching on them more.
Yeah.
Are you done for now?
I'm
Should I-
excited
Oh, yeah, I'm
to
definitely
join the ghost realm tonight.
What's that?
I'm excited to join the ghost realm tonight and have all my questions answered.
Oh, after you're in jail still though, right?
Yeah, but after at the end of the round, like last time we put someone in at the end of the round.
Right. Okay. Should I put y'all in the ghost room now?
Yeah.
So this is the ghost room.
Okay.
Shit, that was so fun. I'm angry.
I'm angry how good that
I'm
was.
literally upset about it.
Where's that sound coming from?
Matt and Taylor.
Let's see. James, Kale, Kevin,
James.
Nick, Robbins, and Sophie. Sophie is going to the ghost room.
Yeah, who kills Sophie? I mean, seriously?
How Laurie at me?
Add
Good
Taylor
luck,
to the
y'all.
ghost room.
Taylor,
Although
I
you're not
don't see you on the call yet.
Oh, do I? Oh no, I'll just go in Robin's office, I think, and sit with her.
Okay.
Oh, that had to go out.
Yeah.
Are we waiting on anybody?
I'm sorry, I'm just getting the ghost thing put together.
Okay.
Can you see them, Laurie?
The ghost, can I?
Good call, nachos.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Where are those little comments?
With little wets? Yeah, it's just the one that's smaller than the. I mean, we'll stretch
Oh
it
wait,
over.
no, I can't see the ghost room unless I go into it. So we've got Brad. These are all the live people.
There's not very many of us left.
Wow, it's a tiny group, guys. Okay, well, welcome. Unfortunately, Sophie drowned in the fountain.
Sure, it's still good though.
Last night.
It's good enough for the moment.
Okay, do you guys need a minute?
Yeah, one sec.
They're too busy with the nachos.
David, you look like a mechanic.
Yeah, I know.
I know, it's the shirt.
All right.
Like
Let me run in and grab the laptop, and I'll be on in one sec.
No, that seems like mafia behavior.
TikTok.
I
Yeah,
got
right.
some like backyard weed today, and it's called Festival of Lights.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Someone legit grew in their backyard. That's cool.
Someone grew in their backyard. Yeah. It smells like it.
How did you source that, Laurie?
Nathan.
Ooh.
Nathan's like friend or family member. He's watching right now. Gave it to me.
Laurie Majors for Nancy. Take one.
Oops. I put a voiceover audition really quick. Laurie Majors.
Who's Nancy?
Nancy for this ad. It's for like a training video for Cabenuva, which is prep injectables.
Oh wow.
What?
Hell yeah.
Like instead of taking prep, you can just get like one shot every couple months.
Like birth control.
Seems
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I missed what kind of injectables. Gotcha.
Yeah, for prep.
It's usually a daily thing, right? The regular pill is you have to do it every day.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
So it'd be like the depot shot of prep. And it doesn't work better, but I learned a bunch about it when I was trying to learn how to pronounce its fucking name. It doesn't
Does
work
it work
better, but it works just as well
Oh, okay.
as like Biktarvy or True or whatever.
Cool.
Okay, everybody's here. So Sophie unfortunately drowned in the fountain at the Americana last night
Not
after
cool.
being terminated. Benjamin is on his last shift right now. So he'll be able to vote still and participate in conversation. Besides that, it's down to you folks. Down to a server, an executive chef, a utensil inventory technician, and a bathroom attendant.
Oh.
Me.
So
Let's-
go
Wait,
ahead.
give me a second, okay?
Open discussion.
Maybe we can start with what we know or what we agree on, I guess, right? I subscribe to the James's cop narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's got to be old news at this point.
But I mean, everything within that's like Melinda's innocent.
Oh yeah, of course. Which means
Like,
Kevin was
who
mafia and
investigate-
Dale was mafia.
I am tempted to say that Benjamin was serial killer.
Matt, I think we agree with you. That's why
really
the vote
funny,
went
Matt.
the way it did.
Or mafia.
Wait, what?
because-
Is that what everybody's going with? Is that I'm the serial killer?
Yeah, I mean, you might have missed like some of what we talked about since you were driving, but yeah, we all kind of concluded that you were serious.
Why?
Because of the way you were playing, like how
What
quickly,
about
like,
it?
just the way that you were able to like very quickly try to act like the talisman for the town. And
Because
for
I
the rest of
believe
us,
James,
like none of us had any sort of
like you and Brad are now saying that you believed James.
about what? About him being.
You are. Everyone is now saying that they believe James after killing James and killing me for believing James.
It wasn't just
Yeah,
because
but
that
you could
what's
believe
happening?
James and still be
Is that
serial
what's
killer.
happening?
That's what I'm saying.
Melinda,
Yes.
speak sense to me, please. Please prove James honest and be like a regional townsperson with me here, because I originally trusted Matt and Trong. I told you I've been honest from the beginning about how. Oh wait, we just lost Laurie. Do we need her?
I think she's
No,
still. I think she might have jumped to the other room.
Okay.
We're still live on YouTube, I guess.
I still don't know what to think about Brad, but I no longer trust Chong or Matt. And Melinda, I'm looking to you for a voice of reason.
I don't know what to think. I had some difficulties with James until he investigated me. So I'm putting my trust in him, and one of the things he told me that night when he was kind of not obeying the rules and mass texting everybody, that I should be on the lookout for you and of David as well, Chong.
He said to be on the lookout because he was suspicious of us.
Yes.
To be fair, he was
all-
suspicious
all
of all of
respect
us.
all respect to James, who I do still believe, but him expressing those suspicions was the Clark Kent side of James, not the Superman side of James. If he investigates somebody, then we know. If he doesn't, then we don't. Like, I feel like, I mean, I am still honestly like 1% of me is waiting to get put into the ghost room at 8:30 and find out that James was not the real cop, and that
I'm gonna be pissed if that's the case.
No, there's no way.
oh fuck
At
you,
this
Matt.
point,
You're
there's
the
so
fucking
much
mafia.
happening.
The only thing that makes me suspicious is just like the not people following, like the texting after hours. But I think I believe that he's the cop. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
this
all I
has
have to
been.
go on at this point is James being cop. I know there's a small sliver of a chance that he's been playing a masterful game and just duping everybody, but I know I'm town, and after he investigated me with that information, it gives me a little bit more of stock that I can put into his credibility. I don't know if that was a sentence that made sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. As far as the rest of you guys, I don't know what to think.
This has been the hardest game, I think, in terms of determining who's who. Like, there's been no unusual plays in terms of like something that just reached out that's like, that person is obviously guilty. Like, it's been frustratingly difficult trying to discern who is who. And I still don't know.
Laurie, did you send out the vote count from last night? Or from Friday night?
I'm sorry, I neglected to send out the
Can
vote.
you?
It's okay. I remember.
That's okay, but just because
vote.
I was
So,
in the car and could not see everybody's votes. Did anybody vote against, or did anybody vote in my defense?
Who else was even on the block?
It was Sophie,
You
which I
and-
didn't even think it was Sophie, but I had to put somebody
No,
up. But
I
I'm
think
asking.
it was
everybody
you
voted
and Kale who voted for Sophie. Everyone
Sorry?
else, you and Kale voted for Sophie.
Oh,
Everyone
because
else
Kale's
voted for
doing
you.
this.
Yeah, that's another thing too. So Kale seems like he's mafia based on the way he was acting, which means Kevin also would have to have been mafia, I think, in that case, which then proves that DJ is cop. So I think at this point there's no debating that DJ, is cop mafia or mafia cop or a regular cop.
Okay.
Laurie, but the fact that we're playing this round means that we can still win, right? That the townspeople can still win. And will you tell us? Okay, so I know that tonight all that's left to happen is to vote someone off, and that the effects of that are tomorrow. But if someone dies tonight, and we are thank you. If someone dies tonight and we are no longer able to win, will you tell us first thing in the morning with that email, or will you wait until 8 p.m.?
Or will you just tell us tonight?
I think like if I would,
Or
when the
or
game's
tonight.
over, I'll tell you at the moment the game is over.
Okay.
So if we vote out either the last mafia or the last person that like fixes the votes, like you'll tell us at the time of the vote and not make us wait 24 hours.
If it's impossible for either side to win, at that point I will announce it immediately.
I need to go through and see who has been killed off.
I'll tell you all.
Mafia or serial killer, because I don't remember.
Yeah, go look it up, Matt. Matt, go look up who's dead.
Well, no, I know who's dead. I'm trying to see which ones were voted and which ones Mafia killed. So there was Taylor. Who else? Sophie. Who the fuck else?
What are you asking? Who's dead?
I'm not asking who's dead. I'm asking who was killed by either mafia or serial killer, not
Nick.
voted out.
Nick.
Oh,
So,
Nick,
yeah,
that's right.
Robin,
Nick, James, Taylor. Is that it? Sophie.
Robin, right?
Yeah, I said Robin, didn't I?
Yeah. So Robin, James, Taylor, Sophie, Nick.
That's 5, right?
So that's
Yeah,
5.
5 nights and 5 kills. Okay.
And then, so we don't know who of those was mafia versus serial killer.
Right.
So if we take 5 people that were, with the serial killer, we can't just say, okay, those 5 were innocent and then someone else had, fuck, this is hard.
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out the numbers of how many could be left, because we did kill 2 mafia, we know, Kevin and Kale. And so that leaves 2.
Kale was never investigated.
Kale was
Right?
saying
Yeah, he was.
right?
James said he investigated.
Yeah, I think
He was?
He used to watch this on YouTube
I believe Kale was investigated by James.
He
and
was.
joined the breakout.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out the numbers of how many
Forget that.
could be. Okay,
Hold on.
Laurie, could you mute Robin?
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, so I mean,
like the mafia took out the serial killer unknowingly at some point.
That'd be great, but it's just hard. I don't know.
yeah, it's certainly possible.
Why don't you know?
Preschool was up there. West End.
So I guess it's possible that So there would have been 2 mafia and the serial killer left that we aren't sure about. But based on the fact that this game is still going, that means that
Have we
can't
have we
be.
done this? Have we? Sorry to interrupt, Matt. You finish.
No, go for it. Oh, I was going to say. So
I was just.
go
Yeah,
for it. Go. You go.
No. You go.
Okay. So I was going to say, we know that based on the number of people left, that there can't be the majority or half or more being mafia. So I'm going to say we have at least 3 mafia out. There might be 1 mafia and 1 serial killer. There might be just 1 mafia. It's entirely possible there's just a serial killer. So there's like 3 options.
Right.
And I don't know how to figure it out at this point.
I mean, at this point, I think it's most likely, just based on odds, that there's 1 mafia person left. Just based on the number of people dying, there's one mafia person left, and potentially, like, if Benjamin is serial killer, and again, this isn't something I'm sure of, but if Benjamin is, because I thought maybe serial killer was Sophie, but now Sophie's dead. So if that means whether or not she was serial killer and then mafia killed her, or she's innocent and she just got ended up being killed anyway, it's really hard to say.
Right.
But I think just for the sake of the town, I think we have to assume it's 1 mafia, 1 serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's 4 of us left.
Right.
And
the only person that we know is innocent is Melinda.
Right.
There's 5 votes tonight, Matt.
Yeah, there's
5 votes, but
tonight.
who's
4 people
still,
alive.
like,
dying
left
anyway.
alive
Yeah.
that has not been thrown in jail or killed?
Yeah, just in terms of like trying to figure out the math for next game.
So after tonight, I go away and 1 person goes into jail. So there will be 2 people, 3 people still alive and out of jail. I'll be gone, and whoever we vote into jail tonight will be in jail.
And then
but someone gets killed.
And then tonight, someone will die.
Yeah.
Right.
So
tomorrow there will be 3 people.
Yeah, there's only gonna be 3 people.
And it won't. The person who dies overnight won't end the game, because by definition it'll be mafia or serial killer making the kill. So even if they do kill the other one, then there at least there's 1 person left. 1 bad guy. What this does do to what this says to me, the fact that it's still going on. Because here's the thing. Laurie said that she'll stop the game when someone can't win anymore. If there were 3 mafia right now, we wouldn't even be having this meeting.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be over.
Right? Because they'd have a majority. But if there were 2 mafia and a serial killer, we could still be having this conversation. There might only be 2 townspeople alive right now.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that the serial killer is still alive, because if it was all mafia, they'd be voting in a block and it'd be over by now. That's what I think.
Right. That's why I'm assuming then it's 1 mafia and 1 serial killer, because there's been pretty much no, like, if you look at the voting record, except for when everyone voted for you yesterday, there hasn't been any clear like voting block at all. So to me, it's 1 mafia person, 1 serial killer. I just literally have no idea who, except for Melinda.
Have we considered what I was going to say earlier was, have we considered what the landscape would look like if James was either mafia or mafia cop? In other words, the people he said he investigated being mafia, or at least not necessarily being mafia. They could be still town, because sometimes the mafia cop investigates a real person, you know what I mean, and tells them that they're town. But my point is, if James wasn't cop, then Melinda's definitely mafia. Correct?
Right. But that would also mean, again, but because James investigated Kale and Kale started acting all crazy, and I think
Kale
to the
admitted
business of
it.
the town. Yeah, he basically admitted that he was mafia.
But what if James? Right. So wait, you feel like Kale? Wait,
I think
sorry,
that would.
remind me.
I think the way
James
that
investigated Kale and found guilty, right?
Yeah,
James said
and then
Kale was
later
guilty.
when we voted on Kale admitted to being either mafia or
good.
serial killer. But James
He didn't directly admit to it. He
Yeah, he
said,
did.
if I was this,
Maybe he did it
but
When
before
did
you got
he
on.
say it?
He
But I'm
like,
not a good guy.
yeah,
was
he
the
made it
whole,
pretty
like,
clear that he was
guy.
not working for the town.
He said he was.
Really?
Yeah.
He said he wouldn't say if he was mafia or serial killer, but he did say he was a bad guy. So if we believe that, then that gives some credence to James's claim of being the cop, which then means Kevin was the mafia cop. But it's just I don't know.
All I know what to tell you guys, listen, I've been a very loud voice in this game because I felt very certain. And if this game is any indication of whether following your heart is a good strategy, I will never do it again. Because I feel like literally just saying, oh, that sounds true. Everybody was like, you're making a move, you're taking sides, you're with James. And I was like, I told you out loud exactly why I believed who I believe. And I feel like it puts a huge bullseye on your back. It puts a huge target, because if you sit back in the cut and nobody notices you, if anything goes wrong, same thing for like if you miss a night, or me being late to the meeting at Big Bear. I think Mafia smells blood in the water, and they're like, we just have to pick off the weakest person each time. And for whatever reason, having opinions makes you a lightning rod for that. So
Do we have any nominations?
Oh God. Well, all right. I mean, hold on. Before we nominate, Brad, can we hear from you? Because you've been a little quiet.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I've been quiet. I'm always quiet. I don't know. I've never met.
Brad, guess what? Brad, at some point, Brad, that's not good enough. If you always say you're quiet, guess what? We're gonna fucking kill you first round next game.
You interrupted me
talking. We're gonna
talking.
kill you because you don't take positions and you don't ever say anything, and that's mafia behavior. Sorry, bud, but that's the rules.
I was talking and you interrupted me talking to say that I'm quiet. I don't know. Like, I feel like this has been the narrative. I don't know. I feel like part of the group turned against you last time is that it just felt like you're driving the narrative here. And yeah, I don't know.
All right, go ahead, Brad.
Look, you can look at my voting record. I've always voted with the group or whatever. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know everyone's tells and stuff. I feel like I'm trusting everybody when they're like, yeah, James is playing how he plays when he's the cop. I've never seen James play Mafia. Play as Mafia. This is my second game. I haven't met most of the group in the flesh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who to believe. Like one echo there. I don't know, and I'm not a good actor. I'm not known for being a good actor. I can send you video of me acting. I'm very bad at it. I can't memorize lines. I can't read teleprompter good. Yeah. I trust that Melinda is town.
I think we all believe that.
Yeah. But then it's just basically, I don't know. The Kale shit I think is interesting. I think the Kale, like, I'm like, what was Kale's deal the other day? Like, is that like a strategy saying that you're town or mafia?
I mean,
is that
sometimes
to me it's just a mafia
happens
thing? He's just trying to muddy the waters. That's all.
Yeah, like first game that I played, I totally got caught as mafia, and I just broke, and I was just like, "Yep, I'm mafia. You got me."
Okay, but just the fact that he didn't just be like, I'm mafia. He was like, I'm like one of the bad. I'm like, is that like some sort of mafia strategy of trying to make us think that he's serial killer or something? I don't know.
It could be, but
you really
it also
need to
might
make
not
some
be.
noms, though, guys.
I don't know who the hell to nominate.
I don't know either.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a shot in the dark and nominate Brad, because why are you talking about Kale? He's dead. It doesn't really matter, and it seems fishy that you're bringing up past things that don't really apply, especially if we're going with the I Believe James track. So I don't know.
Okay, do we have any seconds for a nomination of Brad?
Second that shit. Thank you, Melinda.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Anybody else?
Then the only other thing I can think to do is nominate Matt, because if the way that things break down, it's either Brad or Matt who's either mafia or serial killer. And we can't just have one person on the vote when I think there's two dangerous people still out there.
David.
Well, I mean, that's the same.
I'm getting the vibe that Benjamin is not serial killer.
I'm not. Chong, you are speaking sense. Chong, listen to your instincts. Listen to your heart. I've been telling you the truth the whole game.
There's no heart in this game. It's all lies. This game is just a lie covered in other
I know, but
lies.
Chong, focus on James. Focus on James, me, and Melinda.
David,
get Brad and Matt out of the game.
Okay, do we have a second for Matt?
I second Matt. Did I nominate him or did someone else?
No, I nominated him.
Okay, I second him too.
David, can I ask
second
you
him too.
Why James would tell me to be wary of you?
James told me to be wary of me because he's always wary of me. Because literally every game where James has been the cop, he always investigated me. In fact, I think last game, James investigated me first because he was like, I just need to make sure. Or no, it was 2 games ago because I died early last game. I don't know. It's all getting mixed up. I mean, and it makes sense, in
Melinda. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay,
sorry, guys. I'm 2 drinks in and I'm getting excited at the idea that we might actually win. Keep going, Sean.
I was just talking about why people tend to suspect me a lot. I've made mistakes in the past, like I've overrun my mouth before. And I think from James's perspective, because things were very unclear for him, he basically said in his chat, in his text to us, his late night text, to literally suspect everybody else. So I don't, obviously he should suspect me because he doesn't know anything about me. But at this point, no one knows anything, and that's why I think we, Brad and Matt are both on the block.
Chong and Melinda, do you agree that the 3 of us need to vote in a block to remove either Matt or Brad?
I'm feeling very
because if we don't, say what?
I said I'm feeling pressured.
Listen, this is my last night alive. I
think this is the last night for all of us.
I have left to give, and I'm concerned that if the 3 of us don't successfully remove one of what we think is the 2 evil people, then I'm out, and then someone dies. Okay, I believe Chong is being genuine in his decision, and my opinion is that the 3 of us, and I suspect Matt more than Brad, but I was pretty clear from the way I interrupted on you, Brad, that I don't believe you either. But I want to get one of them out so that tomorrow, and then one of you will die. If we remove Brad or Matt, one of you will die the next night, and then the following night. Wait. Is there such a thing as a stalemate?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
There could be between the mafia and the
and serial killer, right?
Serial killer.
But doesn't it just depend on who gets to kill that night?
Yeah.
This game, I don't. Yeah.
I don't think it's
any other
possible to have a
nomination.
stalemate.
Oh, I don't know. Brad, I'm not confident that you're evil. I'm really sorry.
I mean, so from my view, so there's 3 choices. I want to say I believe Melinda because I believe James. Between Brad and Chong, I don't know. I'll jump on board for Brad since he's up, but
it's classic Benjamin.
Just
I'll nominate Chong then.
I'll jump on board for either of those, but I don't know who the fuck to believe. This is the hardest game we've done.
Okay, guys, look, they're
far.
circling their wagons, and they're both going to vote against Chong. We have to decide which one of them. I'm going to vote against Matt because I don't believe either of them, but I believe Matt less. I'm going to cast my vote for Matt, just so you guys know. And if we don't, 3 of us vote for Matt, we'll have, I guess, a tie vote, and we'll do a runoff. But I'm just saying.
Okay, so we've got a very limited amount of time, so I'd like to give Matt and Brad, if they're the last nominations, some time to say something. You got like 30 seconds each. Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead, Brad. Yeah.
I feel like I've been painted as being quiet and stuff when it's like Matt's been equally quiet. I don't know. Like Matt also knows most of the people in the game in the flesh. I'm a comedy, not an acapella, so I don't know all the acapella folks. Matt walks between worlds. Yeah.
I actually don't really know them. I've met them like twice.
Okay.
And that's it. I've just played a number of games with them.
I've only played one.
True, but it's fuck. It's so hard because some people have obvious tells, and then the people that are here that are left, I can't read. No one is making any obvious moves that I can lean into and say, yeah, that's kind of a mafia move. I don't see Chong as doing anything particularly mafia or serial killer, but Brad either. And I want to believe that James was the cop and that Melinda is therefore not bad either. This is fucking hard.
All right.
I don't know.
Anybody else have anything to say? We're gonna do voting now.
This is the worst.
Yeah, this is the worst.
Guys, I think we remove Matt and then Brad. I think Melinda or Chong will be the last person standing.
Right.
And we'll go on to repopulate the world, and we only need one person.
Well, shoot, I hope I die then. Jesus.
For it to be a win.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm down, but if you're all set on that, that's fine. But I hope that doesn't make us lose.
Okay, ready? Everybody type your name of who you're voting for in the chat. Does everyone? Does anybody need more time?
No.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it. No turning back.
1, 2, 3.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Boom.
No,
Congrats, come on,
Benjamin,
Benjamin.
actually, the game is over and corporate has won.
I knew it.
No!
I knew it. Fucking knew it. It was Chong. Was Brad too?
Benjamin,
Did you
Chong
say
was
Brad?
corporate.
That was me.
No!
Damn, Chong, you fucking played us good.
Fuck you.
Brad, were you just town as well?
No!
What, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm mafia.
Benjamin, you were so right up until the end. You were right almost the whole time up until very recently.
Up until
Wait, what just
serial killer,
happened?
Matt.
What just happened?
Wait, who's serial killer?
Corporate
Corporate
one.
one,
Wait,
baby.
what just?
Corporate
No.
one.
What just happened?
Corporate
Sophie,
one.
the game ended. Corporate
Mafia
won't
won.
change, it's corporate.
Who's mafia?
I knew you were innocent.
Chong, Brad, Kale,
Kale and
and
Kevin.
Kevin were mafia.
Y'all were picking us off one by one each time. I was
Who was
next.
serial killer? I
Yeah,
have
who's
to know.
serial
Sophie,
killer?
were you serial killer?
High five.
Oh, I thought you couldn't handle
Oh
being
my
serial
god.
killer.
You seem so innocent. Oh my god.
Yes!
Doing
I thought
so
you were
great.
mafia. I thought you were mafia, Sophie.
I was doing great though. I think. I don't know. I was
Sophie,
doing
you
all
had a
right.
great game.
Brad, you had some fucking obvious tell last game, but I feel it was only someone who knew you, and I was like, "Oh, Brad's mafia," but I had no idea up until that point last game.
This is what happens when I
What'd I
don't
say?
follow
Tell.
I gotta remember.
Brad slips under the radar.
I guess
God
we-
damn it. I felt so bad because you looked sad.
Brad's
Okay.
speech was
Yep,
so
that's
good.
the whole idea.
So
Like Brad
Chong.
completely
mad at
me. Fucking my mind on
dispelled
that.
everything. It was
What happened?
It was so good.
Fuck
Because
you,
Brad,
Sophie.
when
You
I
he
deserve
was
an
like,
Oscar.
couldn't believe
man.
you were a fucking serial killer. You played that so well. I
It's-
100%.
I really thought it might have been you too, Matt, because you and Sophie were both playing like being serial killer exactly the same, and I figured it had to be one of you two. I didn't think Benjamin was serial killer at all.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit. You were just trying to vote him off.
Wow.
Someone started talking about serial killer.
The entire time, Kevin was like, "Are you serial killer? Are you serial killer? Are you serial killer?" I'm just like, "Oh my god, stop!"
Robin, what was my
Kevin's the
tell?
worst.
I gotta think about it. It was just something. It was just in the category of Brad would never say that. And you said it, and I was like, okay, then you're only saying it because it's mafia. It was just like some different tone or some response to a question that like you never have that specific type of response. It was like too defensive or too lively or like too pointing the other way. And I was like, Brad wouldn't do that. He would just be a straight shooter.
Kevin, you lied to me.
You lied to me too.
Matt,
Well, we had to.
I know. How you guys?
You lied to me more though.
God damn.
I did what I had to do.
I'm so glad, Matt. I was getting really. If you were Mafia, it would have lost 20% of my relationship faith. Honestly, I was like, I just believe him so much, and if I'm wrong, I don't know where my relationship is.
Yeah, at the end, Matt was the only correct one, but Benjamin had changed his mind. Like Benjamin believed.
You two turned on each other, and Matt, you're the one that turned against
know.
Benjamin. You two had a broship that was solid, and you both turned against each other.
Mhm.
They did
Yeah.
that.
On
did a
fairness,
good-
Matt turned on me
It was
first.
Chong and Brad were such a good, like, you couldn't get a, because the stand just kept shifting because Chong was such a good methodical, well, this, and then Brad, when Brad did his speech and deflected, it kind of like, I think it got Melinda on Brad's side, and then it was just like, oh fuck, I think it's over for the town. Like, it was brutal.
Chong
Brutal to
convinced
watch.
me that
No,
Brad,
okay, all right. I at least
Benjamin
made the
was-
effort to try and get Brad to speak up earlier.
Chong, great first Mafia, best first Mafia round ever.
Chong was.
You never
literally-
were Mafia before tonight?
I was never Mafia before tonight.
Wow.
And yeah, and
God damn.
Nathan, you're right. Like, Brad,
Yeah,
we
neither
did
was
really good
Kevin.
job. This entire game, as soon as Kevin was like, "Hey, I'm going to pretend to be cop," we were all like, "No one can ever at this point try to vote as a block or try to defend each other." We were ready to cut each other off like at an instant.
You know what I knew? I knew that you guys were like trying to act individually, but that, along with the fact that there was a serial killer, made this game super difficult.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Just
just
Mafia,
harder
yeah, I'm
than
sure we would have
individual
lost.
agent.
Sophie, you made it so far for serial killer. Like,
Sophie, you were great this round.
They were about
For
to
real.
kill Sophie. They were gonna kill Matt instead.
I was like, fuck, I was doing so well. This
Wait,
is
so
how I
Sophie,
died.
Who did you kill?
I killed Nick, sorry. And then I killed DJ.
Wow. You're
Not sorry
definitely
about
some
DJ.
Harpers, bro.
Wait, who was
Sorry,
the
that was
Mafia?
not
cop?
intentional.
Harpers.
That was
Kevin was
not
actually
intentional.
Uh-huh,
not-
sure it wasn't.
My DJ kill was very, very strategic in the sense of I didn't want him to investigate me. At that time, I didn't know that he was gonna investigate Melinda.
Yeah.
So,
if you hadn't
yeah.
killed DJ,
It
like
was-
we were talking about, we would be pissed. Because if DJ had survived another round, like it would have messed everything up.
Yeah,
So
no,
Joseph
and yeah,
died
'cause you would have
exactly
been
when he died.
investigated.
Wait, who
Yeah.
was the Mafia cop? I need to know this.
Kevin.
Kevin was actually a Mafia cop.
Oh, he was. Oh,
Yeah.
then
He was
I thought you
Mafia
just
cop.
said
It
that-
was sort of
Oh,
his
false
gambling
move.
part. Yeah.
thought you were saying
freaking
he was
Kevin,
pretending to
even
be
lying during real conversations. Okay, whatever. Whatever.
What do you mean?
That's what it takes. That's what we know round 5.
Dude, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
So stressful.
Honestly, I think that the cards were stacked against Mafia going into these last 2 rounds, but they lucked out by they got the role of getting people in a row after Sophie.
Yeah, and
And I
Benjamin,
also-
it's all because you went to
Benjamin
Big
did-
Bear.
Benjamin,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Being allowed, the narrative was not strong because you got Matt laying back and the narrative was just written. What if this was the narrative? And I was like, all right, I guess, sure. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, yeah, by the end.
There was some kind of turn. I don't know what happened. Mafia did a really good job, like Thursday into Friday, because even though I was like, all right, I know I'm going to be out of town, I might miss the call or at least part of it, but I feel like we're starting to be on the right track because we're believing James. And then as soon as we connected and everyone was like, yeah, everybody's voting you off, I was like,
Yeah.
no, they did it. They
I think it's
switched the
because Sophie
narrative.
was still in the game at that point, and so it was just, I assume, more
Yes.
valuable to her to like lose anybody. Because we did
Sorry,
start
for who,
talking about
James?
Sophie for a second.
For James.
Yeah, talking
you
about
mean?
Benjamin when voting for Ben. Why did you vote for Benjamin
Thursday, yeah.
on Friday?
Oh, I didn't want to stand out.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I killed James because I didn't want him to investigate me.
Yeah.
So I had pretty obvious reasons for doing what I did in those moments if you knew who I was.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
But-
round
Except for-
was, like,
except
a
for killing
really
me.
Complex, like
You were one of the unknowns for me at that time.
I
I
was
got
just- I
to
was
kill
just
very
collateral.
early. I got to
That's
kill
cool.
very early. And I've never had to choose. So I was just like, I don't know who to choose right now.
Nah, fuck it. I'll go
I
with
want to
Nick.
kill a mafia, but I obviously did not pick right. So there
I mean,
you
how
go.
are you
Yeah, I'll
supposed to know at
say.
that point?
Yeah, I had to kill Knight too, so
No one suspected any of us day one.
No, that was like
No.
me
But
and
we thought-
Well, I mean, anything could have happened.
that was
dude.
why we were fucked. Well, whatever, it's fine.
But then we fucked up. We did the fake cop thing, and then the next 2 nights, it's like our half of us got bumped
Yeah,
off.
I was a little worried at
I,
that point.
I was on the chopping block for Friday. Like Benjamin really pointed it against me for Friday. I almost didn't show up. I was like, I'm just gonna die. I'll just do the voting.
Wait, if you did the fake cop thing, who was the fake cop?
No one. Kevin was actually cop.
He was mafia cop.
He's mafia cop.
Twist.
He said he's regular cop.
Oh, you're
did-
saying fake
There's
as
no
in
tag.
mafia versus. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Did Mafia or Serial Killer do any like alliance building, or was it all just the kills and the votes?
It was
No,
I think it was mostly just like what happened within
Yeah.
the meetings that was really skillful. I think maybe Chong bridged to Melinda a little bit.
Oh yeah, I definitely used Melinda. I'm sorry. We got drunk on Friday too. Oh, man.
Wait, what do you
I was
mean?
sitting right next to you. Oh my god.
Wait. What is this?
God.
Do it. What happened?
Damn.
Oh, just Melinda and I actually
were
hung out
hanging
on
out.
Friday, and then on Friday, like we were at her sister's place playing Mafia together, and I was like, oh no, yeah, we gotta.
Dude,
figure
it was
this
so
serial killer.
hard on Friday. It was literally just like, I can't say anything. Matt, you're still alive. Chong, you're still alive.
Fuck.
I got
This was
played
a really,
hard.
really good game, and props to Mafia and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah,
good.
we did get lucky too. Things definitely fell our way a few times.
What was the last time the Mafia won? It felt like more of a technicality. This one feels really earned by the Mafia.
The last one was the two Mafia one.
Yeah. It was
Right,
the-
right. It was only they had won because they had been like the other one was like a shield.
Yeah, pretty much. But that
This felt
almost
to
that's
me-
in a way that's how you need to play this, right? For the two Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the balance of this game. I think
like having a serial
it
killer.
would be dope to kind of once, whether it's this game or next game, like once we find that balance, kind of stick with it for a minute to see like what's the track record.
Yeah, I think the things we just need to figure out are those like communication around dying, the night that you die thing.
Right.
Right.
And I think there was one more thing that came up that I was unsure about. But I'm still unsure about like Mafia talking after they're dead. I know that it's like fun, but I don't know if that gives an unfair advantage as like extra people that played the game previously to strategize with.
Like
I
just
think-
talking in their chat, in the Mafia
Yeah,
chat.
No, like once Mafia die, can those dead ones talk
Like,
together?
shouldn't it, if they're down to two Mafias, shouldn't they just have to concoct the plan on
Those
their own?
Yes.
It's kind of hard because my main thing is prioritizing gameplay, and like really early on we had Ravina and someone else very shy, and Christiana. It was Ravina, Christiana, and someone else, and that was the whole Mafia. And I was like, it was
And me.
Melinda, James,
me.
and I was just like, this is very unfair if it's just Ravina and Christiana. It's an unfair burden. And then it was also Jackie and Nathan just last time. And so I've always just kind of been like, the Mafia really does need to tip the scale. And since you have to adjust it in those cases, at least for like the first 3 or 4 nights. You can't just like Benjamin was gone night 1, you know, like it would have been a bad game if I had like, I don't know. So after hearing that side of it, what do you guys think?
I mean, I guess it's just, if there's different levels of experience coming into it, like this particular Mafia, I feel like they already were a deadly Mafia to begin with. So
Yeah.
it's like even more.
I see seeing it that way. You're like, yeah, but it's I don't want to like bail. I feel like there's any first time Mafia, you don't want to have their group get bailed on.
I was this first time Mafia. Kale never
Oh
played.
yeah.
It was brand new too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so if we would have like Kale and Brad pretty early, that would have sucked, I feel like, for them to try to navigate.
Yeah, Benjamin, if we voted Brad off tonight, then it would be down to like 1 and 1.
Yeah. What
I
would
think
happen?
you still would have won though.
It would be 2 because someone's in jail, right? The votes would
Yeah.
still
So
be
Brad would be in jail. I would still be alive, and then
So
and since
it would
Sophie
be
was dead,
Chong-
we could have voted to kill someone else off.
It would be Chong's responsibility to persuade the other town person to take out the other town person.
Right.
But it really.
But
came
wait,
down-
no, he couldn't persuade. If it was Chong, Melinda, and Brad, then
Well, no. If you had voted off Brad, it would be Chong, Melinda, and Matt,
Right.
and they're both regular townspeople.
oh right. Sorry.
But I would have been around next time in jail, right?
Yeah. So you and I could have just voted together. That would have been tricky because it would have been even numbers then.
Right. Yeah. What would have happened then?
Melinda, I was right to trust you.
People got there was a lot of really good like gut instinct this game. People trusting me, all who trusted me. Yeah, it was a good gut instinct.
I feel like if it was reversed, I would have fallen the same way. Because Kevin
Really?
really just texted me all lowercase, no punctuation. I'm cop. Like.
Kevin, you asshole.
And
We
James
needed
does it
you.
at like 10 p.m. the day before, and he's like, "Okay, so I know nothing, and I'm just doing this. I just like really hope that's okay, but I'm a cop."
That's so funny.
I'm gonna do that when I'm actual cop also.
I know, but I was like, that text. I'm just like, okay.
I am cop.
I'm cop. I know your bodyguard.
Oh God.
That was such a good and difficult game. Usually I can fucking sniff it out pretty easy. That one had me going the whole time.
Yeah.
Same.
I
Even
thought
in
it
the
was
ghost chat, we're all like, "What the
Chong
fuck's happening?"
or Brad, but not both of you. That really fucked me.
Yeah.
That
Nobody
was,
thought
that
there
was super lucky.
left.
Because I think the original idea of that 3 Mafia had died was already floated like way earlier, and I just kept running with that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there was no reason why three Mafia had died.
Right. That's
Usually
just a
it's only been
lie
two.
that grew.
Yeah.
And then
It sounded good.
Yeah, it sounded
Matt, I feel like after this game, I feel like that one round where I just like decided that I didn't believe you anymore. I built my own narrative that I was like, look at Matt, look at him lying about all this. And every time you said, this is so hard, I got mad. I was so mad.
Well, talking as a ghost, you were saying Matt's inherently suspicious. His just normal, like, hi seems like he's mafia. It is a lot of the lighting, but
The lighting is so cold, Matt. You need a front light, babe. We need to get you a fucking ring light because
that's
yeah. From above.
Ugh.
You look
I could have
like
turned on the room lights, and I was like,
a
"No,
villain."
lights on, light is fine. You can see me."
And conversely, Chong, I'm never gonna believe you again because
Yeah.
you're so good.
Yeah,
You were
baseline.
so good, Chong.
Baseline.
I thought I was being super obvious tonight because I was like, I don't really have much to say. I don't want to like step
Yeah.
on line at all. So
Well, you're
Also,
not a big
lucky you,
monologuer.
employee of the month.
yeah, see this whole you can ask them like this whole time I was like, I'm gonna die really soon. So like try not to rely on me too much and let's not form any lines. But I ended up like lasting all the way to the end, which is shocking.
We know.
Is this your first time?
That's
being
why.
on?
That's why
No,
I
you ended up
pretended to be actual cop rather than Chong.
Right. I would have gone with the I was cop play, but again, I thought James was gonna investigate me super early, so that would have just that would have ruined that whole thing.
Know it.
Yep.
And also, Melinda, you seemed very suspicious. Maybe it's the time zone and you're less tired, but you were spinning around and you were like saying a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, I've never heard you talk on the game before.
Yeah. After a couple of rounds of her doing that, I was just like, I think that's what Melinda does in the background.
I'm sitting in my sister's rolly chair, and it's really fun. Also, I've been drinking more in this game than previous ones.
Yeah.
Bye, Benjamin.
Take it easy, Benjamin.
Bye,
Bye,
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Bye, Benjamin.
I'll tell you one
See you
thing.
later.
Brad is not as quiet in the Mafia chat.
Ha 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 ha.
Wow.
All excuses. I don't know. I never saw anyone's face before. And it worked.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
those
worked.
excuses, I was just like, there's
Frozen.
no way.
Brad's frozen.
He is frozen.
I thought that's just his poker face.
Yeah.
Still looking innocent.
He's so deadpan.
Man.
That was good. Well, I don't want to be
shit.
the godmother next time.
Ha ha ha. I'm ready to take the mantle back.
I do want to say that being serial killer is just lonely. I'm just texting Laurie like,
Oh.
So
I
sad.
don't have anyone to talk to.
I was really
talking to.
Sophie, I thought she could do it. I thought it was gonna happen.
Well, they killed me. I was talking to Melinda because I was like, Melinda, I feel like from the beginning I was like, I think Melinda's good. So.
Then I thought you were sketch, so.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, I regret nothing more than my last investigation. Like I missed so hard. I just full on
No,
missed.
it was
So
good
many
because
little-
she would have been out because everyone thought she was suspicious. So it was actually saved her throughout the whole game.
Right. Could have investigated Sophie. Would have hit that. Could have investigated Chong.
But you couldn't have said that though. Because I
What-
killed
what?
you. I killed you that night. You shouldn't have been able to say that.
No, I mean, instead of investigating Melinda, because
No, I know.
I was so
I know.
torn.
My point is, when she was talking about that investigation and you explaining that, you shouldn't be able to say that. I think we need some clearer
Yeah,
cutoffs
how it
there for
started
next
was,
game.
Like all that happens in the dark in the night, you know, like you're alone with that
Because
information.
Chong couldn't tell us that last game Sarah was Mafia, even though he knew.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So this is
So
I've
he
heard
knew
two
that.
different
He didn't
points.
tell any of us. Like Kevin and I were completely in the dark. We were all in the same room. He had that information. He didn't tell us. We were
Yeah. I
operating
understand.
without that
That was
information.
Well, just to
I
burn
understand.
James a little bit less, Chong is the only cop that did that. Everyone else just told.
Yeah, all cops are bastards.
No integrity.
They say.
You guys all
So,
game. You're all
Kevin-
no integrity.
Don't extra hate James, just more admire Chong.
And you shouldn't hate me at all because that's how I've been playing. The original intent of that rule was to make it so we weren't like at each other's throats all hours of the day. And
We still
weren't
kind of
hating
are
each
though,
other.
right?
Right. So if effectively what that's doing, if Mafia can still communicate amongst themselves, but Cop can't communicate to who they investigated, it cuts off a move of the townspeople. It
Yeah.
full on cuts off a move.
But that's
You're
kind
not
of the
supposed
point.
to have that move though.
Think
Like,
about
you have
Only
to have-
Mafia get that move because
Think about short form Mafia. Think about short form Mafia. Cop investigates, he gets killed. Does he get to tell anyone? No. Mafia gets to communicate during the night.
Yeah.
Right. I personally don't think that's fair, but I defer to you. You know, it's group.
I think
I-
it would be interesting.
Because of that particular circumstance that we were in that night, my fear was you were going to pick me and then tell everyone I was serial killer, right? Hence
Right.
you died. But then if you had investigated me and then told everybody, that would have defeated the point of my kill,
Right.
That's interesting.
right? Because the whole point is I'm trying to make sure that no information gets out. Same with Mafia if they try to kill you, right?
Yeah.
If they, knew you were a cop, it's the same idea.
You're just
But
shit on
I mean, you could also say it totally negates an investigation. So what's better, in negating an investigation or negating
Well,
a?
no,
It's not
the
really
idea-
negating a. It's not really negating a kill either.
No, I think.
Definitely.
Sorry. No, I think the idea is, if you end up revealing that you're a cop, which puts you in a place of getting killed, the hope is that the bodyguard is still around. Sorry, Robin, to be the one hopefully saving you, and the bodyguard should, in a way, be settling back, right?
Right.
And then saving you, maybe not continuously, but I don't know, depending on the circumstance, right?
So
sure.
So maybe instead, like, would the best option be to not let the cop investigate if he was put in jail?
That's already the rule.
That's
Okay.
already a thing.
Okay, so they just couldn't.
I think it's just have to decide so it's clear because I realized the reason
yeah.
there's no rule on this is because the first game it wasn't relevant since we were talking constantly. So I
Right.
never established it in my mind. And then usually what James did in the extreme is that he texted everybody. So it's never come up before because it's always when the cop knows the
It's always been
bodyguard
one
by
person.
then. And they just
Yeah.
text that person that gets to the group at some point.
Right.
And then no one knows when the cop has died, so there's no announcement over like, wait, how did we get this information? It's just like, I happen to know that this,
So I had my other idea was to Laurie to give the information like as a memo, and then if I died that night, then it could be left as a memo on the whiteboard.
That's unfair. If you get killed, you don't get to out your information. Like you would bring that up the next day. That's when that should happen.
Right.
That's fine.
I think the solution is you don't as godmother or god whomever, like you don't give up information. All you do is get from Mafia or serial killer who dies, and all you get from the cops is who gets investigated.
And then the next day
And then you wait
tell
till the
them-
next day, and then
Cool.
once you figure out like who died and who's not, that's when you release the information.
That sounds.
That's an interesting idea. I will say, I
I think that
I'm
would
a
be
little
best.
biased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying you would just text and say, here's how I want to investigate, and then that information wouldn't go out until the next day.
Yeah, until you know for sure who's dead during the night.
Yeah, it's just double texting for who's moderating it. It's a lot of emails and texts. It's easier to do it when the
That's fair.
person asks you. That's like, and then the reason why I've been doing it, and also from another gameplay stance, is that like I don't want to I want to reduce the stress as much as possible, and it seems likely that like people just would text, right? Like what are people more likely to do? They're probably more likely to just text their one ally. This is what I found out, because they're in the middle of the game. And so if you make it the rule that they're allowed to tell who they've investigated, then you don't have to worry about people breaching that, and you don't have to worry about double texting. It's just like, sure,
Yeah.
cool. You get one extra investigation.
Bye,
So that's
Laurie.
easier to manage for the game. And then if everyone knows that going in, then it's just like one extra advantage the town has.
I'm biased because I've been cop twice in a row. But even with that added, I mean, I wouldn't even call it an advantage that I used. We barely scraped by last game, and it didn't help at all this game. So it does feel like that power.
No, I mean, from my perspective, it definitely helped the town, because Melinda was suspicious to pretty much everybody. Everyone who was remaining at that point was still suspicious. So to call Melinda,
except me.
So I'm saying that
clearly town really diminished the odds against us.
Yeah, if that hadn't been the case the last two games, like Mafia would have won both games.
I mean, I think you're looking at it in the wrong way. Like, I don't think it's necessarily right to be whether or not Mafia wins or town wins. The point is, like, we got to set rules at this point to actually determine from the start what the advantages and what the disadvantages are of being town or Mafia.
Yeah, well, my preference would be to leave it so the cop can tell their night of investigation because of my aforementioned reasons. And then maybe if you guys think that's unfair, what's an extra? Because what about just evening it out so the Mafia cop gets the same thing? Because the Mafia cop has also been telling the Mafia on their last night of being dead who they.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying.
So if that seems like it'd be even then.
What if they can only tell one person? Is that a weird thing?
If that one person is Mafia, then that defeats the purpose.
True.
What's that thing about Mafia cop being able to tell?
Like, let's say that. Oh, I guess Mafia cops, they can't be killed, so that's kind of an extra advantage, is like, I guess you're saying it's because they're in jail. I don't know. Can we think of a slight edge to give the Mafia so that it doesn't create more of a workload? Or a leak? Because I just feel like, what's the real chance of someone just leaking that clue to their best ally next round? How many people here would do it? Half, maybe? Because you just really want to? So then you're just making it unfair because you're letting people who just kind of eke by get the advantage.
Is the goal to make it 50-50 in terms of advantage?
I guess, but not defined. That's just kind of like maybe what we want to have happen.
Yeah.
And it's just a hard metric because there's so many advantages and disadvantages to each side. It's just like we just want to even it out. I'm definitely not, I'm not going to be cop statistically coming up. So this is not something that I'm just voting for because I happen to be cop, but I do think it would even it out a little bit.
But where I do agree with it is like when we're actually doing it for the filmed version, because then we need to have like very clear rules where it's not like,
right,
loosey goosey.
Sure.
But for this reason, for this game, I'm more concerned with overall gameplay, fairness, vibes, and
Hi, Belinda.
my own workload.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you guys know my piece. I defer to you. We can vote on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think like ultimately, despite what I just said before, like maybe that could be a balancing thing too, because with having an extra night of cop being able to tell town, or not having that, if it ends up meaning that Mafia win like way too much, then maybe we could dial that back and let cop do that. Personally, because like that's what we've been doing. And I just like happen to not know that. I think I'm fine with it like continuing to happen. Obviously it is advantage to town.
But we can think of an equivalent Mafia advantage, and then it just like maybe it's like a slight rule.
The only thing I could see being kind of sticky about it is in this case, James was telling the truth. So then when he makes an announcement after he dies, everything he has said the entire game is affirmed. Whereas if someone else is actually the cop, and then, you know, I think it calls into question, like, so should every person who dies get to make one last announcement to attempt to influence the game? Because in this case,
Right.
it was like, whoa, James
Right.
was telling the truth. He was
Right.
the
Oh, you're
cop.
totally right. Yeah.
Well, it depends on when the death occurs, I guess, because who knows if I had technically died or if they had sent in the death request or if it all happened at midnight or it's like, yes, it's definitely sticky.
I guess also it's probably, we haven't thought about that situation because it would be a pretty bold move to not be either cop or mafia cop and claim to have those investigations, but it definitely could happen. It's not against the rules. The situation.
Didn't it already happen with Nathan technically?
Did we? Oh, okay, yeah. Did he say
Because
that?
it was Benjamin. It was Benjamin who was actually cop, but then Nathan claimed it, and he had to fake it the entire time.
Yeah, so they were all fake.
He had the mafia
Yeah.
anyway, though.
So it would be like, okay. Oh, because then, because it
they're
validates that
mafia.
was the real cop. The mafia could never die in this way because they would never be killing the mafia cop in the middle of the night. So it does, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a crazy. In just looking at the two cops, mafia cop has it so much better.
I will also say, as serial killer, it's if that's something we do again, you don't have any information, right? You're also going in blind, and you don't have this possibility of a night when you kill and you're able to investigate somebody or whatever, right? That's not even an option.
Yeah.
So
right.
I mean, I think
there's an advantage in terms of you know, you are acting as one person, and you could you know, try to fly under the radar, and you may be able to, but you know, you're working with as much information as the town is, except for one thing, right? You know,
It's
you're
kind
the
of
serial killer.
it's like a wild card position.
I almost
It is.
I almost like think of it more as just a regular townsperson who like is a rogue person,
right?
Rather than like a separate entity. It's just a town person because
No, yeah, exactly.
yeah,
That's how
otherwise
I
you
was
just,
trying
like,
to play
yeah,
it.
you have no
Maybe
other
maybe
info at all.
serial killer could have like an eavesdropping power where they can learn what one of the cop learns that night. Or like make it like every other night to make it more balanced.
That's super interesting.
That way they have at least some knowledge of what's going on.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe like 1 of 3 nights or something, right? That would be nice.
Yeah,
And like,
that way they
information
have
or
like
gossip.
confirmed information rather than just getting it from like someone who may or may not be the actual cop.
Sure.
I like that idea.
I mean, I think that sounds cool, but like, I mean, is that just making the serial killer power too strong then? Because I think Nick's kind of right. Like, being serial killer is almost more of an ancillary thing initially.
It's actually, yeah. When I first was thinking about it this round, I really hated it. I was like, it just adds nothing because there's no point in ever talking about it because you can't figure anything out. But then I was actually like, its huge advantage is that it shakes up the odds so much and eliminates the known like things that like, okay, that kill definitely came from mafia, so we can definitely track this and this together.
Yeah, and you know, like in
reality,
in certain ways, it gives the mafia, you know, something else to deal with because, you know, I think the serial killer wants to go for the mafia first, but it also like it's interesting to watch that way too because like imagine if the mafia all gets killed off and it's just fucking town and serial killer left, like everyone's gonna have to go each other's throats the whole time, and that's like a very fun gameplay mechanic to watch, I think.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was terrified of that, but anyway.
I think if we make serial killer more powerful, then that makes mafia less powerful.
Right, that's true.
But also, as a serial killer, your chances of winning are pretty low, aren't they? Like I would.
They're
think
really
pretty
slim
low.
because when it gets
so
down
if we
to
give
it,
this
right?
advantage, then we can balance out.
Okay.
Can make.
Peace out, Kale.
Great job, Kale. We did it.
We can make serial killer a little stronger.
Screw you,
and
Chong.
Mafia a little weaker.
Bye, Nathan.
Take it easy.
Bye, Nathan.
Till next
All
time.
right, I'll peace out too. Good game.
Bye, Robin.
Yeah, we'll you know it, Nathan. All right, yeah, we'll figure this out. in
I
future.
won. Thank you.